Hello everyone. Welcome once again to our course on accountancy research. This is video lecture number 13 and I'm your professor, Danny Araneta Cabulay. We will talk about two topics in this video lecture. First, we will talk about management review, and then secondly, we will talk about master plan. Let's get on with the first topic. The term management review or MR is often interchanged with management operations review and quality audit due to the many similarities in terms of coverage, monitoring and evaluation processes, time span, and purposes. An MR requires top management to periodically review the quality management system or QMS to ensure its continuing suitability, adequacy, and effectiveness while addressing the possible need for changes in quality policy, objectives, targets, and other elements of the QMS. The quality management representative of the company or his equivalent works hand in hand with the quality auditor to pursue an MR or a quality audit. The three purposes why organizations perform an MOR or quality audit are to determine and evaluate the QMS performance. Secondly, to ascertain the need to recommend changes and improvement. And lastly, to determine the suitability of the policies and objectives. What is the format for a management review? Well, the parts are the title page, executive summary, introduction, definition of terminologies, quality assurance procedures, audit plan proponents, audit process, the results of the audit, and finally, the recommendations. So if you look at this beautiful picture of it's an aerial view of the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. It's beautiful, isn't it? No? So look how vast the campus is, how modern the buildings are, and beautiful architecture. And of course, the landscape is spectacular. So this is really a first-class university. So let's talk about, that was my picture to segue into another important topic, which is master plan. So the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology actually made a quality audit of its entire campus. And they do that regularly on an annual basis. That's why look at how beautiful it is, because they are looking at improving themselves continuously, and quality has been a way of life. Now, let's talk about the second topic for this video lecture. We will talk about the master plan. What is a master plan? A master plan is defined in numerous ways depending on the discipline and perspective. Generally, a master plan is long-term outline and comprehensive document that integrates numerous projects, plans, and programs to guide the future growth and development of an organization, a group of companies, a community, an industry, or a country. Some organizations would label their master plan as a roadmap. It is a set of projects put together in a grand plan. What are the purposes of a master plan? A master plan ideally has four purposes, namely, first, to ensure the achievement of the main goal of the organization or recipient entity. Secondly, to organize the vast resources allocated for the various projects within the master plan. Third, to coordinate all teams of the implementation of the projects within the master plan. And finally, to synchronize the work to ensure timely completion of the projects. Now, you might be wondering, if this is such a huge project, a huge document, a master plan, could be about 250 pages or above, who does this kind of planning? Who does master planning? Government agencies in the Philippines usually craft their 6-year or 5-year medium-term development plans every time a new president gets elected to operationalize the platform of the government of the incumbent administration. Example, the National Tourism Development Plan for 2016 to 2022 of the Department of Tourism, the Sail Plan of 2028 of the Philippine Navy, that is a 10-year master plan, etc. So basically, ang master plan, maraming gumagawa ng master plan ay mga ahensya ng gobyerno. So kapag may naupong bagong presidente, inaatasan niya ang kanyang gabinete na gumawa ng master plan. Usually 5 to 6 years ang isang master plan for a president of the republic. So if you look at, there is a master plan for CHED, for DepEd, for DOST, for DOT, for DTI, and so on and so forth. So halos lahat ng ahensya ng gobyerno gumagawa talaga ng 5-year development plan, also called a master plan. Now, for large corporations like Philinvest or San Miguel Corporation or Jollibee, yes, gumagawa sila ng master plan for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years. In fact, Philinvest, gumagawa sila ng master plan for, guess what? 40 years. Wow, they can look so far ahead. Okay? Yan ang essence ng master plan. It's really a long-range planning. Now, conglomerates and multinational corporations integrate all the business plans of their various strategic units to ensure that they are congruent and aligned with their overall corporate thrust and strategies. No? So, ang Philinvest Land Incorporated, meron silang tinatawag na 40-year development plan. It is also common for international organizations like the various agencies of the United Nations like UNESCO, World Food Program, Maritime or International Maritime Organization, etc., or other international associations like the Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN, the European Union or EU, etc., to formulate 5 to 20-year master plans for dissemination to their member countries, like for example, the Millennium Development Goals, the ASEAN Mutual Recognition Agreement. So you see, mahaba ang panahon na ginagawa ang isang master plan kasi mahaba rin ang coverage niya. Okay? What are the parts of a master plan? First, we have an executive summary. This section is a brief snapshot of the entire master plan, featuring highlights and critical information of each segment. The introduction. This serves as an overview of the master plan, stating its brief history, rationale, main purpose, key issues, and problems to be addressed, and the main players and stakeholders. Then we have the vision, goals, and targets. The master plan is always anchored on a future aspiration, agreed by the stakeholders, and all efforts upon including projects, plans, and programs are geared towards that vision. Specific goals and targets are identified to clarify with precision the deliverables. Then we also have another very important section, the strategic directions. The broad as well as specific strategies are well defined in order to answer the question, how can we reach our vision, goals, and targets? Thus, this section, the strategic directions, leads to the operationalization of the master plan. Then we have the all-important component projects. Ano ba yung mga proyekto na nakapaloob dyan sa master plan natin? So tandaan mo, pag sinabing master plans, it's a collection of so many projects put all together. Okay? And they're working towards the same goal or same vision. This section, the component projects, enumerates the various essential projects that would support the vision of the master plan. It is important to cover all geographic locations, functional areas, market segments, and representative sectors to make the master plan truly comprehensive and inclusive. Then we have timeline and contingencies to keep track of the specific project's completion and accomplishments, and the master plan as a whole. A monitoring tool is incorporated. Example, a Gantt chart, a project schedule, etc. Para malaman natin kung nasaan na ba tayo sa master plan. Malapit na ba tayo? May kulang pa ba? Yan. So it serves as a guide. There should be flexibility in the timeline in anticipation of potential snags or problems in the various projects, perhaps due to fortuitous event. Yung mga bagay na hindi maiwasan. And then finally, we have risk assessment. A good master plan has a provision for contingencies by identifying and assessing potential risks, recommending mitigating controls and remedies to address them, and ensuring transparency, due diligence in the planning process. Now, let's look at an example of a master plan. The Department of Tourism, as you can see in the notes that I sent you, they engage an international team of consultants to formulate a tourism master plan for the Philippines for the next 5 years. Let us say hypothetically for the year 2023 to 2028. Let's say na-elect na yung bagong presidente sa 2022. So itong bagong presidente na to, ire-require niya ang ating mga consultant na gagawa ng master plan for 2023 until 2028. That's the end of the term of the new president. They have 1 whole year to do the research, September 2021 to October 2022, and present it to the new president of the Philippines by October 22. Once it is approved in November or December, popondohan na siya. In January, they start to implement the tourism master plan. Okay? The following are the proposed sections of the report. Identify 3 section headings enumerated which should not be part of the tourism master plan report. Okay? So, I have enumerated here, which of the 3 sections should not be part of the Philippine Tourism Master Plan report. Pumili kayo ng 3 na hindi dapat kasama. Okay? Take note hindi dapat kasama. Is it tourism destination areas, budget and funding source, target markets, executive summary, strategic directions, component projects, slogan and tagline, strategic programs, vision, goals and targets, tourism awards, risk assessment, introduction, projected revenues, COVID response, timeline and contingencies, and finally, projected tourist arrivals. Take note, the question is, pumili kayo ng 3 na hindi dapat kasama sa isang tourism master plan report. Mayroong 3 na hindi dapat kasama. Okay? Don't be deceived. This is a difficult exercise. Okay? So, I will see you in video lecture number 14. Okay? Bye!